Guys, welcome to IJ Sparks Made Fashion Academy. Today I'm going to be teaching us how to do a mid-shoulder bustier. So let's get started. So first of all, I'm going to take my shoulder to my waist length, that is my half length. I'll go ahead and mark out my basic body's measurements. I'll mark my shoulder, my bust point, my under bust point, my waistline, and then when I'm done with all of that, I'll fix in all my parameters. So now I'm going to go down my slope by half an inch. Remember, this is a freehand, so we are doing it directly on the fabric. So I wouldn't slope by 1 inch because there's no place for me to transfer the allowance to, since I'm working directly on the fabric. Now when I do that, I'll still do my armhole calculation, which is my bust divided by 6 plus 1.5, and I got 7.5. So I came down from that half an inch by 7.5 inches. And then for my bust, since my bust is not so big, I came down from my armpit line or my chest line by 1.5 inch. Remember, for a bigger bust you can come down by 2 inches, or better still, work with your client's bust point length. So after that, I came down by 3.5 inches for my under bust line. I think that is shoulder to 14 or 13.5. Not too sure of that. Okay, so I then went ahead to take my bust span, which is my nipple to nipple point, divided by 2. So I now marked out my bust span, which was 7 divided by 2, which is 3.5. I now came down from my bust span. Now my original bust span is 6, but because I'm working on a freehand material, I'm going to be using 7. So I added extra half an inch to the sides. Okay, so don't forget that this is a freehand pattern drafting, but you can still use this idea and draft it directly on your paper. Okay, so I went ahead to find the midpoint of my armpit line, and then I connected my armpit curve, and this is what it looks like. Okay, and then after that, I'm going to go in from my under bust line by half an inch, and on my waistline by half an inch. Then I'm going to connect from that point all the way down to my waist, from my bust point all the way down. You can use a ruler or you can use your freehand and give it a nice curve. Okay, so after doing that, I'm going to now connect from my bust point back to my armhole midpoint. Remember, we are doing a midpoint bustier, which you can also call a princess bustier pattern. Okay, so after doing that, from where I took out my half inch, I'm going to mark 3 inch to the sides. Remember, marking 3 inch from where I took out my half inch. So you can say that from your bust span line you can come out by 2.5 inch. Okay, I hope you're following. So after doing this, I'll get my French curve, and then I'm going to curve out my bust points, connect from my bust points to my under bust line. Now this is what it looks like. You can see that the princess bustier or the midpoint bustier has already formed. So at this point, I'm going to go out by 1.5 inches, 1.5 inch, to connect back to my bust points to have a good curve for my bust line. So now you can use either 1 inch, you can use 2 inch, you can use 1.5, depends on how pointed you want your bust cup to be. Now when I'm done, I'll go ahead and add and replace all my measurements back, all the darts I took out from my bust line. I'm going to be replacing them back. Now what I would advise, if you're doing a freehand, you go ahead and add a measurement as wide as possible. Then when you are done reshaping your bust, you can now reshape to your size or to your customer's size. I hope this video was really helpful. Please do well to like, share, and leave a comment for me. Thanks for watching. Bye.